Now, every now and then my videos are described by other people as rants, and I usually disagree with that description because the purpose of my videos is usually not to scream my opinion at you guys. Like, I want to start a conversation, like that's the point. But if any of my videos is a rant, it's the one you're about to watch. The internet fucking sucks right now. Maybe this kind of thing happens every time society tackles like social justice in a public way. Plus you have the upcoming American presidential election, which has everybody being super obnoxious. So probably what has become the major theme of my videos is the importance of context and nuance, as well as the idea that we can find value in the arguments of people we disagree with because of context and nuance. But right now on the internet in particular, respect for context and nuance seems to be at an all-time low. Now, I spend most of my time on social media, and this includes YouTube, so I often see things through the lens of social media, which I understand is warped compared to how people act outside of the screen. However, discourse on the internet is important. It helps to shape our culture and has a genuine impact on the world. A person on the internet whom I occasionally enjoy is Maddox. He's a comedian and a writer with a sizable YouTube following. He's mostly known for his comedic rants where he complains about things that annoy him. Sometimes I agree with him, sometimes I don't. Sometimes it's clear that he's just fucking around. But I understand that his online persona, whether or not it always actually represents his actual views, is a character. So if you don't know Maddox, he's been doing this satirical rant thing online for like 20 years, and he developed a huge following doing it. However, I've noticed recently that his videos and social media posts have been receiving a lot of criticism and more outright hate than they ever did. I mean, maybe they're just more disagreeable than before, but we're talking about a guy who got 99% thumbs up on a video where he said this:
"I'm tired of people who can't cook. Cooking food is so easy, even a kid could do it. And kids are the dumbest people on earth. I once met a kid and he was a total moron."
We're talking about a guy who made a career off of unpopular opinions. And he's always received hate mail, but online hate, even on YouTube, was once reserved for like trolls and drama queens. But nowadays it seems fashionable to call out people we disagree with, to separate ourselves into different groups based on our surface level opinions. Maddox made a video a couple weeks ago where he ranted about people who make special food orders. The video was, at least in my view, clearly a comedy video that you weren't supposed to take very seriously. However, that video has like 2,000 dislikes and caused him to lose subscribers. Now, Maddox is just one guy, but I think he's an example of a larger problem. People are at a point where they're so intolerable of things that they disagree with, even things that don't matter. But it's even worse for things that do matter, point of views that actually affect law and civil rights and public health. These are things we should be discussing and finding solutions for, but instead it seems like we just retreat to our echo chambers and fiercely divide ourselves on every issue. Again, speaking from a social media standpoint, the most popular people in social media right now are people whose content expresses no point of view. Gamers like PewDiePie or Markiplier, or comedy creators like Smosh or even King Batch. Their stuff is designed to appeal to a mass audience, which is fine. We all want to be successful and appeal to as many people as possible. The problem is, if you want to express a point of view while at the same time growing your audience, you basically have two options. You can express a point of view so broad and agreeable that it really ceases to be interesting. Like, I love the Vlogbrothers for many reasons, but the point of view of their YouTube channel is basically intellect is cool and be nice to people, which is a fine message, but is really too broad to start any interesting conversations. And I think they've even admitted that they intentionally shy away from certain topics because they're too controversial. The other thing you can do is make your point of view super narrow and exclusive and basically eliminate all notions of nuance and paint yourself as part of a team in opposition to those who disagree with. That way you can grow by gathering all the crazy people who agree with you together in one room. That's what politicians do, by the way. And it turns out there's enough crazy people running around looking to confirm their prejudices to make these people famous. But it's because of these crazy people that even those who make innocuous content aren't safe anymore. Ghostbusters was a 1984 comedy film that was critically acclaimed but had no very strong, overt political or philosophical point of view. The film was remade this year and has experienced an unfathomable backlash. The trailer for the remake has become the most disliked movie trailer of all time on YouTube. Now, I have to admit, I think the trailer looks awful myself, but the most awful of all time? Not even close. It's possible that people are especially offended because they might be ruining a beloved classic, but this is not the first bad remake of a cult classic. It's undeniable that one of the reasons this film has received so much backlash is because it replaced the original cast with all women. The point is, we're just in an era where crazy people fall over themselves to publicly shame everything they don't like, even if their hatred for that thing lacks context or is actually bigoted. James Rolfe, the angry video game nerd, recently released a video where he claimed that he refused to watch the new Ghostbusters movie. The difference, however, is he made a calm, intelligent 6-minute video explaining his point of view. And you may agree or disagree with the video. A lot of people did disagree with the video, actually. In fact, he received kind of a huge backlash for making that video, and almost none of it was intelligent or civil. One writer called him a limp dick loser, and the nerd's content, while irreverent and vulgar, is definitely innocuous. There is no precedent for someone like him being lynched online for having an opinion. Social media and discourse on the internet is toxic as fuck right now. Important conversations are being completely drowned out by lynch mobs and call-outs and trolls, and there's not one group or ideology at fault here. I'm seeing it from every angle and every extreme, and this is part of the problem. Actually, I just read a blog complaining about the backlash against people that are criticizing Ghostbusters, and it's basically like, this is why I fucking hate feminists and social justice warriors, they're ruining everything, completely ignoring the fact that there have been tons of hateful, sexist things said about the movie. And a few weeks ago, I read an article that basically decried Western society for hating a movie just because it has women in it, completely ignoring the fact that that trailer is actually really fucking bad. But instead of those two sides coming together and having an intelligent fucking discussion, we just separate ourselves and call people names and pretend we're so much more intelligent and enlightened than those we disagree with. This is what the internet is right now, and it's fucking terrible. I've always expressed this idea of using our disagreements to enrich our perspective, but instead what we're doing is using those disagreements to separate ourselves and be assholes to each other, at least on the internet. And I really have no solution except hoping that it's a phase and waiting it out, because if that doesn't work, I'm gonna have to take a break from social media before my fucking head explodes. And that's all I have to say about that. Hello everyone, thanks once again for watching my video. For those that don't know, I'm a full-time YouTube creator, and the only way that I'm able to do this is through your support, and a large part of that support comes through Patreon. Patreon is a crowdfunding site for people like me who create things, and it's basically like an online tip jar where you can set it up to donate just a couple bucks every time I make a new video. If you find any value in my videos or my channel, or if you just want to support me, please consider signing up for Patreon. That would be amazing and totally appreciated. And if you can't, that's cool too. I just thank you for watching.